Hello, my name is Sam Furbee. This beautiful lady beside me is my wife, Susan Furbee. And for the last decade, she has been struggling with a very rare disease called paraneoplastic syndrome. Let me give you the background on this. We'd gone whitewater rafting July 21st. We came back, everything was fine, took our two daughters with us whitewater rafting. On August 3rd, coming from church, my wife told me that, or Sue said, I've got a headache and a stomachache, I'm going to lay down. I said, okay. Well, 9 days later, I'm taking her to the hospital because definitely something is wrong. And we spent about 2.5 weeks in the hospital and they had no idea what was wrong with her. She was throwing up. She had to hold on to things when she walked. The motion sickness was so severe that when I would just set her on her bed and lay her down, she would throw up again. That year, her record of not throwing up was just 3 days. She went from 135 pounds down to 97 pounds, and they had no idea what was wrong. After many, many tests and many visits to the doctor, her neurologist finally sent her labs to the Mayo Clinic, and they diagnosed Sue with paraneoplastic syndrome. Paraneoplastic syndrome is so rare that there's no case studies done on it. It's so rare that most doctors won't have a patient with it in their lifetime of practice. Paraneoplastic syndrome is nothing more than an autoimmune disease which is associated with breast, lung, and ovarian cancer. Sue was diagnosed with breast cancer after so many visits to the doctor or to the hospital in August, and she had a successful mastectomy in October 6th actually, and she went through chemotherapy treatment, and she's been cancer-free now since 2008, but she still has the severe problem of the paraneoplastic syndrome or autoimmune disease. What happens is her body produces more white blood cells that attack her central nervous system. She quickly went from being an energetic, vibrant wife, mother, teacher in the Worthington School District to needing 24/7 care. She lost the ability to walk. She lost her gross motor, her fine motor. She lost some of her eyesight. She talks very slowly now, but mentally, cognitively, she knows exactly what's going on. For the last 10 years, Sue has exercised daily. She has really worked very hard and very diligently, and she continues to do that to this day. I've continued to stay in contact with the doctors. I continue to do my own research on paraneoplastic syndrome, and to no avail. I've got a brother that's a doctor out of Lubbock, Texas, and I've asked him to do research and talk to other doctors, and we all come up with the same answer, that there's just not much out there on that disease. There hasn't been a case study done on it, and as I said before, most doctors won't see this in a lifetime of practice. About 5 weeks ago, I was praying on a Saturday night, and I usually just pray for Sue to have a good day and for things to go as smoothly as possible for her. That night I decided to pray for complete healing again. I prayed for complete healing when this all started, but after 10 years, I just kind of pray that Sue has a good day. The next morning, my brother texted me and wanted to know Sue's complete official diagnosis. That evening, he called me and said that he was at a medical conference in Houston, and in one of the sessions, he heard a group of doctors, the company called Celltex, C-E-L-L-T-E-X, speak about what they do with stem cell research. And he said it made perfect sense to him what they were saying. So he gave me their contact number, and I contacted him. Now I told you I was praying on Saturday night that I asked for complete healing. I tell you that because I believe I got an answer Sunday. I believe I'm being directed by God to go this route with my wife. That something good out of this is going to happen. I contacted Celltex and asked them all kinds of questions. I talked with their director of patients, and he gave me all the answers I needed. I then had a conference call with Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones is a spine surgeon, and he is well known throughout the world. he developed rheumatoid arthritis in his hands, which caused him to have to cut his surgery schedule down by about half. He went to Asia and had this done. And within 4 months after his infusion, he was back to a full schedule and operating. And he thought to himself, I've got to bring this back to the States. I've got to bring this technology back. This is amazing. So he thought, he's told me he thinks we can help my wife. He said it was a very complicated disease, and we talked about the pros and cons of Sue getting in the program and trying this. And we come to the conclusion that this would not hurt Sue in any way. All it would do is possibly help her. Because I had prayed on Saturday night, I feel I got an answer on Sunday. And that's why we're going after this and going to do it, even though it's experimental. The doctor that started this, Dr. Stanley Jones, he's known over the world as a renowned spine surgeon. And I spoke with him and I asked, what's different that you do in Mexico out of the country that they don't do in the country? He said, if you take stem cells out of somebody's body, you can put them back in the next day. You can even freeze them, put them back in 6 months later, but you can't grow them. What we do is we grow the stem cells. We take the stem cell that's called mesenchymal, it's within the fat cells, and we grow it to 600 to 800 million times. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks. Then we reintroduce that back into the person's body that the stem cells were taken out of. He said the mesenchymal cell has the ability to take over the job of other cells. And that's why they have to go out of the country. And he said that once the FDA shut him down, his group of doctors searched for a hospital that met all their requirements, and they found one in Cancun, Mexico. So that's where we'll be going when we have the cells reintroduced to Sue. The doctors believe they can help her. How much? That's in God's hands. I firmly believe that. And I believe that you believe in God with all your heart and don't rely on your own understanding. This is the first time in 10 years that we've had any hope for my wife. They just keep you know, there's no cure for this disease. Only time in 10 years there's been any hope, and we're going to try it. If you find it in your heart that you'd like to donate to Sue's cause, we would greatly and deeply appreciate it. We'd also appreciate any prayers you have for my wife, and we'd also appreciate you sharing this with any of your friends. Thank you, and God bless you.